My name is Sonja Kirschner. I'm the founder of Kirschner Communications, the German culture and language experts for business and life. And in this brief, absolutely free training session, we'll be talking about how to become more aware of the differences between your own and the German business culture and what you can do to help yourself and your business when dealing with Germans. So, if you're someone active in the corporate world who has dealings with German business partners, representatives of various German organizations, or simply German colleagues, and if you have often wondered what it is that makes you feel as though you were not quite on the same wavelength with the Germans, this training will answer a question or two. As for my part, I'm an Austrian national living in the UK who grew up bilingually, German and Slovak, and biculturally between Austria and the neighboring Slovakia. Picking up and learning about differences between cultures is therefore something I've been consciously but also subconsciously doing from a very young age. Also, I studied intercultural communication, which led me to focus on cultural differences in the business world. For a good number of years now, I have been helping companies to penetrate the German-speaking markets, Germany, Austria and Switzerland, also known as the DACH region. By doing this work, I have noticed how many business professionals actually struggle to understand the way the Germans think and act, which in turn influences their own behavior. I have therefore developed this free training program which helps people just like you to understand how the German business culture works and why. I would like to share the key aspects with you right here and right now because I genuinely believe that many of you will benefit from this material. Okay, let's start with a short example of how people from different cultures interpret things differently. It is Tuesday the 15th of March and Peter, a British manager based in London, UK, receives an angry call from his Munich headquarters asking for a set of quality reports that they claim they requested the previous November. On checking his files, Peter discovers the facts. It seems he had simply forgotten the deadline. No problem, he says, I will get them to you in the next couple of weeks. He senses that this didn't go down very well and that he just made his German colleague even angrier. Okay, so what are the main issues here? A total of 3 issues. Issue number 1, the missed deadline. The truth is, Peter hasn't missed his deadline by 2 days, and he hasn't missed the deadline by 2 weeks, not even 2 months. He missed the deadline by a quarter of a year, 4 months, which is simply unacceptable. Completely and utterly unacceptable, especially in the German culture, where when a deadline is set, it is to be adhered to no matter which level you find yourself in the organization. Issue number 2, Peter acts as this was not a big deal. It is not a big deal, I will get them to you. Well, truth is, and I may be speaking from someone who considers herself being part of the German or Germanic business culture, but missing a deadline by a total of 4 months is a big deal. People are dependent and reliant on your information, and by you not having provided that information is simply not acceptable. It is a big deal. While you may argue, why haven't they chased any sooner than the 4 months? We don't know the background. But the truth is that 4 months is not acceptable. Issue number 3. Peter says that he will be providing the information in the next couple of weeks. Wrong. If you miss a deadline by a week, by a month, and even worse in Peter's case by 4 months, you do everything you possibly can in order to provide the information now, not in the next couple of days, and certainly not in the next couple of weeks. So in the German culture, everything is about time. It takes people and managers a little longer than in the other cultures to set a target in terms of deadline, what the deadline would be, because they really try to accommodate other people's workloads and projects. So it takes a little longer to make a decision or to set a deadline for a specific task. But once the task and the deadlines are set, these are to be adhered to. And in Peter's case, not to adhere to this deadline is simply not acceptable. And to say on top of all of this that I will be providing the information in the next couple of weeks and to act as if this was not a big deal is simply wrong, morally, culturally, and professionally. German communication style. German verbal communication patterns are one of the greatest sources of confusion to others. Germans are very direct, short, and straight to the point, or at least the majority of Germans. They can thus appear to be abrupt and demanding. The content of the message is usually more important than the means by which a message is communicated, transmitted. In German, the word please may be replaced by an acceptable, friendly tone. They are also prone to forget the word please when speaking English. Therefore, the solution to work with the German communication style is not to jump to conclusions about the German counterpart's intentions, but to recognize his or her directness as standard and to clarify the intentions by asking. If you're not certain about a message, if you're not certain about the intention, if you're not certain about the way a message has been communicated to you, please don't make the mistake of simply walking away and interpreting things yourself in a way which may or may not be correct. Make it easier for you. Go and address your counterpart. Ask, clarify, and feel better about it as a result. Also, make allowances for non-native speakers of the global business language, which is usually English. If you are faced with a seemingly abrupt communication style, it is useful, again, to check back what your German counterpart really meant to say before you make any sort of judgment. And finally, small talk does not play a significant role, not in the German, Austrian, or Swiss business context. It is normal to get down to business very soon after meeting a new prospect for the very first time. Language. The German language is structured and contains an abundance of rules stipulating sentence structure. Therefore, Germans who speak English tend to express the German language patterns when communicating. Again, Germans who speak English tend to express the German language patterns when communicating. This may be the reason why you may have wondered that this is not quite right, or this message should have been communicated in a different way. What you heard, or you may have heard, is a literal word-by-word translation of how they would communicate that message in their own native tongue. But they have communicated it to you in English, in their foreign language. The Germans are also very prone to succumb to a number of language pitfalls, which are also known as false friends, which may lead to misunderstandings if both communication parties are unaware of them. Two of the most common false friends are the German word Problem and the German word muss. The German word Problem, which literally means problem, is also used in place of theme, topic, issue, matter, or even challenge. So you can see that in the German language the word problem has various meanings. To give you an example how this may cause a problem or misunderstanding in a communication situation, what the German counterpart intends to say is the following message. This is a matter of inaccurate comprehension. What he actually says to you is, this is a comprehension problem. Now, where does this this misunderstanding occur or originate? It originates in his or her own native language in German. The German version of "this is a matter of inaccurate comprehension" is "hierbei handelt es sich ein Verständnisproblem." Now, as we have discussed previously, the German counterpart takes this message "hierbei handelt es sich ein Verständnisproblem" and translates it almost literally into English. This is a comprehension problem. What he or she actually means is this is a matter of inaccurate comprehension. The second example, the word muss, or the English equivalent have to, which can give the impression that the speaker is giving orders. Now, the German counterpart intends to say, you need to improve your lead times. What he or she actually says to you is, you must improve your lead times. Where does this communication misunderstanding originate? Again, it originates in the original German version, which is Sie müssen Ihre Durchlaufzeiten verbessern. Sie müssen Ihre Durchlaufzeiten verbessern. The Germans also use the word müssen, which is conjugated in this instance, but the word muss, which is very similar to must, but they take it and translate it literally into English. You must improve your lead times. What they actually mean to say is you need to improve your lead times. So again, unless you are aware of these false friends, misunderstandings do occur. Obviously, these were just two examples for false friends, and there are many more you will need to make yourself familiar with in order to prevent misunderstandings, in order to ensure that you understand your communication partner in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland correctly. Stereotypes. Generally speaking, stereotypes exist about almost every ethnic or national group. Stereotypes and generalizations develop when one's own view of reality is imposed on a foreign situation. The Austrian-American philosopher and communication theorist Paul Václavic said it well. The most dangerous delusion of all is that there is only one reality. The most dangerous delusion of all is that there is only one reality. Some stereotypical behaviors attributed to Germans are they're humorless, they're aggressive, they're distant, stubborn, unfriendly, and they're sticklers for detail. But you know what? Do you know what the best thing you can do is when it comes to doing business with Germans as far as stereotypes are concerned? Forget them. Forget the stereotypes. Meet the challenge with an open mind and with your eyes wide open. Time. Punctuality is absolutely essential when dealing with Germans, in both business and social appointments. Arriving too late is simply unacceptable, unless you have a really good reason. On the other hand, arriving too early can be interpreted as an infringement on your counterpart's time, so make sure you arrive on time. Punctuality is considered as an indication of your reliability and reputation. Deadlines exist to be adhered to, as already discussed in the previous example. Once fixed, they are only changed if circumstances make it literally impossible to meet them. It is usually very difficult to get an appointment at short notice, so make sure to plan ahead. Addressing people. Formality and a respectable distance towards your counterpart are expected in every business situation. This distance takes form of recognition of also his or her academic status. To give you an example, Mr. Peter Schmidt, who holds a PhD, generally expects to be addressed as Herr, standing for Mr., Herr Doctor, Doctor standing for PhD, Herr Dr. Schmidt, and not Herr Schmidt, meaning Mr. Schmidt, and certainly not Peter. Thank you for watching. I really hope that the material presented in this video gave you some insight and will help you to approach your next encounter with a German business partner or colleague with a more open mind. Be confident because you are now aware of some of the major cultural differences. If you have any questions or comments regarding this topic or would like to share your own personal experiences, I would be very happy to hear from you. You can comment below or email me direct at sonja@kirschnercommunications.com. My intention for this free training is for it to reach as many people as possible. So if you like this video and if you think that your colleagues, friends, you name them, may benefit from this material on the German business culture, then please share this link with them. I would be happy and grateful if you would. Thank you for watching.